Welcome back. I'm glad you could join me. So this video, I'm gonna try to make it as quick as possible. This is going to be a three-part video about pop-up shops. This particular video will be an overview of pop-up shops. The second video will be me preparing for the pop-up shop, and the third video will be of me actually at the pop-up shop. So the first thing, what is a pop-up shop? So my definition of a pop-up shop is it is a temporary location, it is a temporary retail location for you to showcase your business to the public or to the community. It's mainly geared toward those of us who do not have a brick and mortar, but I have seen people that have brick and mortars come to pop-up shops and vend as well. So that's basically what it is. It's just a temporary space that you can rent. You can pay a fee to be at for a day, 2 days, a week, or whatever the requirements are. So one of the main questions that I get asked a lot is, how do I find pop-up shops? So I have been doing pop-up shops since 2015. The first one I did, I think it was recommended by my coworker. So it was at a church. It was a fall festival. They were looking for vendors. So I went, I did it. It was awesome. The hostess was awesome. The vendors was awesome. It was just awesome all the way around. And it was very rewarding financially too. So anyway, so I decided then that I wanted to continue to do pop-up shops. So now I have to find them, right? So I looked on Eventbrite. You can find pop-up shops on there, on Eventbrite. Facebook. I find a lot of mine on Facebook, honestly. So you can go to Facebook to the events tab, and you can just scroll and search for events in your area. Now, a lot of these events may not be labeled as pop-up shops or vendor events, because sometimes there's other things going on and they are allowing vendors to come in. So you just have to read the description of these type of events to know if they are allowing vendors or not. Another thing is, I am part of like 4 or 5 different groups on Facebook. Is vendor groups catered toward North Carolina. So it's basically just promoters and hostesses posting their flyers and information about events that they're hosting, and they're soliciting for vendors. So that's how I find out about a lot of my pop-up shops. And since I have been doing this for a while, I have met so many people, and some of these events I do like yearly or like twice a year, because some of these places they have like event in the fall, in the spring, or things like that. So they always reach out to me and see if I want to still be a part of it. Being that I do a lot of events, I have met some amazing vendors, and we have exchanged contact information. So that's how I find out about events as well. They will call me or text me and be like, hey, this event is going on, just wanted to let you know if you want to be a part of it, blah blah blah. So that's how I found out about my events, right? So two of the main things that I take into consideration before I commit to an event is one, the type of event it is, right? Because everything is not for everybody. I used to always think that because I have a craft-based business, everything that I have to offer, I make. I custom make things. I make t-shirts, pillows, mugs, tumblers, buttons, puzzles, you name it, I probably can make it. So I make a lot of things. So I always think that oh, I can go anywhere because I can make this stuff to cater toward any event. Like I did an autism event, so I did pillows, mugs, tumblers, keychains, earrings, all that stuff, and it was autism based. So I feel like I can go anywhere. However, just because I feel like I can make a lot of things for any type of event or whatever, it still doesn't mean a lot of events are right for me. It just don't. And I had to learn it the hard way. So always research and see what type of event it is. If is that type of event going to be conducive to your business, to your brand, or not, right? Another thing, and I think the main thing, is location. A location. A location can make or break an event, believe it or not. I have did events, and so I had one event out of all the events I did. I had one event where I made no money, and the location was horrible. It was so far in the cut, like I couldn't even find it. A lot, like, oh my god, Almost all the vendors was late because it was so hard to freaking find. It was horrible. So location is everything. Like, so you have to, if you don't know the area that this event is in, if you don't know, you should probably drive to it and check it out if you can, or ask the vendor questions or things like that. Like, is it easily accessible? You know, put it in your GPS. Is it hard for you to find? You know, if it's hard for you to find, it's probably going to be hard for your customers to find. How is the parking? Is there parking? Is there parking for the vendors and the customers? Will they have to pay for parking? I mean, I live in a small area, so we don't pay for parking, but some places you pay for parking. So you have to think about stuff like that. How is the layout? You know, I think one of the main things that I look for when I'm doing a vendor event is, do I have access to a bathroom? Like, really, I'm so serious, because I drink water all the time. I always stay hydrated because I'm in the military, and that's one thing they tell you, to drink water. Even if you break a bone, they tell you to drink water because they think water cures everything. So I drink water all the time. So I will have to use the bathroom. And a lot of times when these vendors, when these hostesses are having outside events, they don't think about things like that. I mean, you can contact your local septic companies, and they can provide like portable latrines and hand wash stations and trash cans. They can provide all that for you at a fee, of course. But a lot of these hostesses and promoters do not think about that, which they should, because you got vendors out here 7 8 hours a day. You know, eventually they're gonna have to use the bathroom, right? So just think about the location, and you know, where's it located at, what the layout, what do they have to offer, and whatever. um Another thing is vendor fees, right? So most events I do are $25. I have did events that's more than $25. I have did an event one time and I paid $150. So I don't have an issue with paying high vendor fees, but I'm not going to pay a expensive vendor fee if all you have to offer me is a 6 foot table in a corner somewhere. I'm just not. The event I paid $150 for, it was a Juneteenth festival. It was outside, in the big park. They had a concert. It was just amazing. So it was so much other stuff going on. So I knew it wouldn't be no problem for me to make my money back. So just be mindful of the type of event it is, and if what are they offering with the fee. A lot of people turn down events because the venue, they don't have tables, or the host is not offering tables. But for me, that's not a deal breaker for me, because I feel like I need my own tables, chairs, and canopies anyway. You know, because what if I want to host an event? What if I'm doing an outside event? You know, things like that. So I feel like I need my own stuff anyway, so I consider that as a business investment. That has never been a deal breaker for me. So just be mindful of these fees, because some of them can be ridiculous. Just be mindful. Just see what's included in the fee, basically. Another thing is advertising. Again, like I said, I have been doing events for a long time. I have met some amazing vendors, but it surprises me how many of these vendors feel like they do not have to advertise these events. I've had so many vendors say to me, well, I paid to be here. I paid a fee for this. I shouldn't have to advertise. That's the wrong answer. Because for one, you should always advertise your business. Always. I'm definitely going to advertise mine. Right? So you should always advertise your business. But a lot of these vendors, they think they do not have to advertise because they paid a fee. So they shouldn't have to advertise. And okay, if that's what you think, that's cool. But you got to think, we all don't have the same audience. We all don't have the same following on social media, which is where most of the advertising happens. We all don't have the same following. So if you're going to an event where there's 10 vendors and all 10 of you are advertising to your following, you know how many potential customers that could be? So why are you not advertising? It don't cost to advertise. I mean, you can pay for advertising, but I mean, you don't have to. You can do it on social media for free. All you gotta do is share a flyer, make your own post, whatever. So for me, one thing I do with advertising, I create my own event and on Facebook. I always do that. I create my own event, and I also pay for the sponsored ad. And one of the main reasons why I pay for the ad is because most of the people that are on my Facebook and on my Instagram, they're not people that's local to me. Because I'm in the military, so a lot of most of the people here, I don't even know a lot of people here, honestly. So I pay for the sponsored ad, and I target the area. So like I'm gonna be in Charlotte next weekend, so I'm gonna do a Facebook thing for that, and I'm going to target that area. That's where I'm going to set the city for the, because you can set a location where you want to target. Excuse me. So that's where I'm going to target my ad. Why? Because those are the people that will probably come out, because I live like 3 hours away from Charlotte. So I don't think a lot of people in my area would drive there for that. I don't know. But I just don't really see that. So I would rather target people in that area. So that's what I'm going to do. So you always have to advertise. You always. That's the main thing. Another thing is, this is gonna be my last thing, my last tip is to prepare yourself, right? And when I say prepare yourself, I'm not talking about your product or service having that together. Of course you want to have that together. I mean, that's a no-brainer. You go into a pop-up shop, so you want to have whatever products you offer, whatever service you offer, you want to have all that stuff together, right? But when I say prepare yourself, I'm basically talking about yourself, your physical self. Prepare yourself. You have to be prepared. More like make sure you conduct self-care prior to. So lately I have really been struggling with like everything. Like depression is kicking my butt, y'all. Like, whew, it really is. I was supposed to do an event this past weekend and I didn't do it because I just couldn't, like, I packed up, I went there, but I just could not, and I was exhausted. I was mentally and physically exhausted. So one thing that I did, I didn't go to sleep. Like I stayed up all night. Like my anxiety had kicked in. I could not go to sleep. I just couldn't get it together. And while I'm sitting in the car, I'm thinking back to like 2 years ago when I was doing vendor events, right? I had a schedule. Like if I'm doing an event, I already know the things that I'm going to make to take to this event. And every day when I get off work, I'm doing so much, working on so many things, right? Until it's time for the event. The day before the event, I would get a good night's sleep. I would go to sleep. I would get up the next morning. I would pray. I would do my workout. I would eat breakfast, and then I'm ready to tackle the day. Well, lately I haven't been doing that. I have been like I have been procrastinating a lot. Like it takes like everything is like a struggle to me. Like it's so hard for me to do things. So everything has really been a struggle. So I really haven't been taking care of myself. So like this past weekend, I could not like I couldn't go to sleep. I was just so nervous. I was anxious, and I don't know why, because I have did so many events in the past. But one thing I know is because I was, like I said, I was thinking back to how it was like 2 years ago, and then I started thinking back to the last few events I did, and it's basically the same thing. It's like I'm showing up and I'm doing these events, but I'm not the best version of me. Why? Because I am neglecting myself, right? I'm not taking care of myself. I'm so worried. I'm so focused on making everything perfect. And again, I have a craft-based business, so I stay up like late at night, like the day before the event. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can make this. So now I'm trying to make all these things and do all this stuff, and I have a million thoughts running through my head, and I just have a million things I have to do, and I forget to do like simple stuff like eat. Like you have to eat. You need sleep. It's like I don't focus on those things. So that's one thing you have to do, because we all know one thing: if you feel good and you look good, you gonna do good, right? We all know this. So make sure you prepare yourself, your mind, your body, everything. Just make sure you prepare you. Make sure you are well rested. Make sure you have eat a nutritious meal. Just make sure you make sure you have do whatever you have to do to get your positive vibes going, positive energy, whatever it is that you do. Make sure you have all that. Have a positive attitude. And it's hard to do when you're not taking care of yourself. Trust me, I know. So make sure you prepare yourself. Your mind really has to be prepared. Like for real. I can't stress that enough. I really can't, because woo, listen, I know the struggle, y'all. And I'm sorry I'm getting off topic, but just make sure that you are prepared. You yourself, you are prepared, right? because a lot of times, I don't know like how you do events, but most of the time I do events by myself. My friend, he comes out and helps me, but most of my events are on Saturday. He works on Friday nights. He get off like at 7 in the morning. So you know, that would be selfish of me to ask him every time he get off, oh, come help me with my event, because I know he needs to rest. So most of the time it's me by myself, and it's like exhausting. It's very draining. So you have to prepare yourself. Getting a good night's rest is what's going to be a key for you. Getting a good night's rest, because you're gonna wake up, you're gonna be well refreshed, and you're gonna go out there and you're gonna tackle the day. You're gonna go hard for your brand, regardless. You are. So when you look good, you feel good, you do great. Make sure you dress nice. Wear comfortable shoes. Like, I don't wear a lot of t-shirts with my business name on it or my logo, because I make t-shirts. So a lot of times, like, depending on like the type of event or the theme or whatever, I wear a t-shirt, you know, advertise a t-shirt that I have for sale. So I wear something like that. But make sure you are comfortable. Make sure you dress the part. Like, I have been to you know, just make sure you dress the part, basically. And make sure, again, you take care of yourself, because you can't you can't be all you can be for your brand if you're not taking care of yourself. So that's basically it for this video. Please stay tuned for part 2, which will be a few days from now. I'll probably do some more videos before then, but not pertaining to pop-up shops. But stay tuned for part 2, which will be a few days from now. I have to babysit my grandson this weekend, so I know I ain't finna get too much done then. So y'all be great. Until next time.